For those of you who love Negronis and whiskey, today we've got you covered. In this episode of Essential Cocktails, we're going to make a drink called a Boulevardier. So just like the classic Negroni, which the Boulevardier is a riff on, it contains Campari, it contains sweet vermouth, but the key difference we're going to make here is that we're subbing out gin and introducing bourbon whiskey. And even though these drinks are very similar on paper, I think you're going to be surprised at how different they are in the glass. So the classic Negroni is usually an equal parts drink, although people do kind of change around with the proportions. But in a Boulevardier, we're going to go with a slightly different ratio. So this is going to be a stirred drink, and rather than doing 30, 30, 30, or 1 part to 1 part to 1 part, I'm actually going to do 45 mils of our bourbon. And we're going to call this 1.5 parts. And the reason for this is we do want this to be quite different to a Negroni. And those kind of rich, toffee-like notes that we find in the bourbon just really contrast the gin, the kind of deeper, rounder, more kind of caramelly, whereas gin obviously has much more vibrancy and freshness. So 45 mils of our base spirit. You could even do 60 mils or 2 to 1 to 1. But I think 1.5 to 1 to 1 is a really easy ratio. It works really nicely and it doesn't overpower the Campari and the vermouth. So with the Campari, we're going to do 1 part, which is going to be 30 mils. But this is a really easy drink to scale up once again, just like the Negroni, just like the white Negroni. You could make even huge vats of this. You could even age this in a barrel, which would be quite nice. So 30 mils of that, but you could do 300, you could do 3 liters. Depends how many friends you've got, depends how much you want to make. And then finally, we're going to go 30 mils of our sweet vermouth, or whatever amount you want to make, depending on the batch size. So to summarize this recipe, 45 mils of bourbon, or 1.5 parts, 30 mils of Campari, or 1 part, 30 mils of sweet vermouth, 1 part again, and we're just going to stir this down over plenty of ice. We're going to strain this into a frozen glass with a nice big clear ice cube if you have it, or cubes, or a big block if you don't. And then we're going to finish the drink with a good zest of orange just expressed over the top of the drink. Garnish with your orange zest, and there we have a delicious riff on the Negroni, which has deeper, rounder, more caramel-like notes, called a Boulevardier. Enjoy.